Manchester United have confirmed an agreement is in place to sign Casemiro. The midfielder is set to join from Real Madrid for 70 million on a 4-year deal. As a Manchester United fan, so many thoughts myself, a little bit split. You're happy? Is it the right thing? Is it distraction from what's going on with the Glazers at the minute? Is he the player that you want to bring into the club? Is he the difference? Is he too old? I don't think he is. I think our bodies are different in football these days. And it feels that there's bigger problems at large here, Cass. But also at the same time, 5-time Champions League winner coming to Manchester United.
Look, there's one thing, and what we're hearing there is, 30 years old, and if he plays 5 years, well, 5 years generally represents probably a good third. If you play 15 years as a top flight footballer, that's a third of your career. So that's a long period of time in football world. That's a long time to play for a football club, 5 years. And if he is successful in that time, then yes, absolutely, you'd have to buy someone of that quality. My problem with Casemiro is I would probably say he's the third best midfielder in Real Madrid. Some people would disagree, but I think Toni Kroos and certainly Luka Modric, they're different ages. Of course, Modric's 37, so it's even less of a likelihood that he would join. But I think he's the third best. He's the ball winner. They definitely need a ball winner, without a doubt. They need someone to break up the play of the opposition. So there's lots of questions. The one thing I've got frustrated with Casemiro is sometimes been left out of the Real Madrid team, and it's normally when he puts on a bit of weight. His weight fluctuates. Okay. I've seen it a few times. I've seen Casemiro out of shape. Okay. Last year he was in great nick, and he looked absolutely on top of his game. He really did. But I've seen him other years, and I thought, cool, you don't look at his fittest, Casemiro.
Speaking of great nick, if he comes into Manchester United to be alongside Cristiano Ronaldo for now, because we don't know what the saga is there, whether he'll be gone in 13 days' time, 12 days' time now actually, by the time the window closes. But it must be quite a good thing for the likes of Ronaldo and Varane, who have relationships with Casemiro as well, to go, okay, this is another player who has played at the highest level, who's coming to United, who are just not at the races at all right now. Is that good for morale for the likes of Ronnie?
Well, I've never seen Ronaldo as a bad signing for United, because I think they needed some sort of mentality to come into a dressing room. Look, their signings of years gone by were exceptional. Man United fans got so lifted by whether it's Ruud van Nistelrooy, whether it's Van Persie, Berbatov, Dwight York, Jaap Stam, many, many others, Pallister, Keane, this is all through the ages. They've seemed to have brought in players that would really excite the fans. Now, does Casemiro tick that box? I think most Man United fans will go, we need that type of player.
Feels like he excites, but then there's huge question marks because there's so much more going on.
Well, it's a big fee for a holding midfielder that is necessary at the football club. I said last year, when they bought Varane, I said Varane is not the player that won the Champions League. He's not quite as good as that anymore when they bought him.
Are you saying that about Casemiro as well?
I wouldn't say that now, because I watched him last season and he's still got a lot to offer. But I did think Varane at the time, I thought, no, he's not the Varane of what he was like when he was 25, 26. He had a lot of injuries in his career. One thing that Casemiro does a lot in his game, he does a lot of fouls. He picks up a lot of cards because he fouls a lot in football games. Which, again, some Man United fans might say, well, we need someone to break up the play, stop the opposition. But it's a big price to pay. Now, if you still have the intentions of Frankie de Jong, now, can you put them both into that team? Because Frankie de Jong has openly admitted he likes playing that 6 role. Now, you wouldn't, I think Frankie de Jong's better further up the pitch. But he actually says he prefers the 6 role. Yeah,
different style of play completely. It would feel like De Jong would be assigning to take them further up the pitch, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Well, he's a ball carrier.
Yeah.
Frankie de Jong. He's very, very, very comfortable receiving the ball.
Absolutely, and would have been a wonderful signing. That's dragged on so much. And Casemiro, like, for example, last week we're speaking about Arnautovic and Rabiot. WT, what the heck was going on, right? It was just the most bonkers suggestions ever. It was mad.
Missed 2 massive problems there. United, fortunately, the fans had more sense than the owners.
And that came through. You know, it was a bad week with that being suggested.
Rabiot doesn't get near the French team most of the time.
Exactly. But then you bring in the likes of Casemiro, but you mentioned it there, the big names that they've brought in. You know, bringing in Paul Pogba was a massive signing, one of the best midfielders in the world. Now you've brought in Casemiro, a player who would be able to bring out the best and unleash that potential consistently of Paul Pogba. And Pogs is gone. Right, problem there. Ronaldo, this time last year, comes in as your Champions League winner, your ultimate goal scorer, and everything at the club went from bad to worse. Not that I'm blaming Cristiano Ronaldo whatsoever, because I'm not. Then, of course, you mentioned Varane as well. Another big name signing, comes in for big money, can't hit it in Manchester United. Jadon Sancho as well. I want to think he's going to come good, but again, hasn't quite hit the ground. So you're bringing in all these big names. Now you've gone for Casemiro, and it feels like it's a distraction in the transfer window with 12 days to go, when there's a Glazers out protest happening on Monday against your biggest rivals at Old Trafford. It just feels like you're trying to, I want to be romantic. I want to think, you know, Casemiro will be coming from one of the biggest clubs in the world, having won the Champions League, to Manchester United because he wants to be passionate about taking United back to the best again. That, yeah, we can challenge for top four, and then perhaps the season after that there can be a quick turnaround and you can challenge for silverware. But money talks, and it feels like it's like, how are you making this mistake again?
Well, okay, Real Madrid, when they started to go, you know, you felt they were a Galactico club and they just went for major signings. That was very successful for them. They were dominating. And look, we've watched them win the Champions League last year and they won the Liga again. You know, they're a club that does like Galacticos. The difference is that the Galacticos are going to Man United and getting King's ransoms.
I know.
This is not coming.
That's a problem,
you know, he will get probably between 15 and 17 million pound a year. So if you add that onto the 50 to 60 million and then go, well, it's a 4-year deal, there's another. It's a deal that's coming into the sort of the numbers of 120 million pound. Now that is a massive investment in a player.
You look at the spine of that team. You've got Ronaldo for now up top, Casemiro in your midfield, Varane at the back. It is stunning, but it's just not clicking. We could talk about this all day.
It's a wrong age, but they're all at the twilight of their career.
I know.
Really. You know, Varane is even though I think Varane's 30 now, or close to 30 anyway, but he's been playing since a 17-year-old. You know, he went to Real Madrid. I think he played less than 20 games for Lens before he went to Real Madrid. And he went there and he'd had massive knee issues when he joined the football club. He overcome them. But the United had got him when he was on the wane. He was on the way down. Now, could you make the same argument with Casemiro? I watched him last year and I thought it was the fittest I'd seen him for a number of years.